So after, what, like 3 months of work, I can now finally say, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Chopsticks Fun channel. Key point is, we're back after a long time, and we have a very hard challenge to complete, as you can see in the thumbnail. Now, point is, we're not just looking to spend $50 on a PC, because you've probably heard this concept before. No! Alrighty, so for our deals that we got, our first deal was for our motherboard, our CPU, and our CPU cooler. Our motherboard is a Gigabyte AM3 something or other, it's got a really long name. And yes, it's the same motherboard that I got in another video. I'd just like to inform you that motherboard manufacturers make more than one motherboard of that type. Grow up a bit, okay? I can get the same motherboard twice. Now, our CPU to go with that is an Athlon 2X4, I believe it's a 650. AMD didn't make their old Athlon Phenom models easy to say. I'll put it up on screen. Now, we also did get this with a CPU cooler of a brand that I've never heard of before. I believe it will cool our CPU quite well, and it will be just fine as long as we apply enough thermal paste to it. And we got them all together for $12.30. Now, this is an insane price for all of these. Obviously, this guy just wanted to get a quick dollar for his parts, and he was actually selling them as part of a bigger deal, but I saw these and haggled with him for a while, and that's where we ended up. Alrighty, to pair along nicely with our AM3 Micro ATX motherboard, we actually got 8GB of RAM in quad channel. They're all black mix and match sticks, so they do all have heatsinks, but they're sort of weird. Some of them Corsair, some of them are G-Skill. I don't really know. I believe they're all 1666 megahertz or 1600 megahertz or something like that. We got them for a total of 8GB, and I believe we paid $10 for them. Someone, again, wanted a really quick dollar. They had them up for a while, and no one wanted to buy mix and match RAM, and so I swept them out from under that. Okay, so this is the part of video where you should do what I say, not what I do. Here we have a Thermaltake 430 watt power supply. Now, I bought this power supply for $5, which, listen to me, you should never, ever buy a power supply for $5. It will be terrible, it'll probably be a no-name, it won't have an efficiency rating, so you should never spend that much, okay? You should look to spend around $50 if you're a beginner and you're just looking for a beginner PC on your power supply, so spend $50 on a power supply, not $5. But I'd just like to say our whole budget here is $50, so I really didn't have a choice but to spend this much. When I did buy this power supply, it was in the worst possible condition that I've ever seen a power supply. It had dust bunnies everywhere, and I literally had to get a blower from out the back, alright, like a big blower, to get all the dust out of this thing, and I still think there's a fair bit in there. But honestly, I can't expect much for $5. It was a Thermaltake unit, someone just had a big lot of power supplies, and I just bought this one. It's gonna work just fine, I hope, at least. And I hope it just holds up. That's all I can say for this thing. Fingers crossed, okay. Alrighty, so our next deal, I believe, is for our hard drive. It was a Seagate Barracuda 500GB. I believe it's 7200 RPM. Now, this hard drive was kind of weird because most PC hard drives are a lot thicker than this one. This one was quite thin. I don't know if that means anything, but this guy sold it to me really cheap, I believe for like $6.50 or something. We got it on a crazy deal, and so I just saw it as an absolute win. I swooped it up. I don't know if it being really thin is going to affect our performance or anything, but I thought I'd take that deal no matter what, okay? I needed a hard drive and I needed it cheap, and this fit the bill. Alrighty, now for our case. Now, you guys are gonna say that I'm just reusing the same thing. No, I'm not, okay? This time, okay, we have a Thermaltake Versa H18. I am not reusing the same case, I just keep finding the same case on Gumtree over and over again, okay? Lots of people are just looking to get rid of this case, right? It's a cheap case, it has good airflow, and it's just got a really basic, simple design, and it looks good, okay? So, people want it, people get rid of it, whatever. Now, the reason how I got this Thermaltake Versa H18 so cheap was because A, it was missing the front side panel, so that obviously knocked down a lot of the price. And B, it was missing 3 of the PCIe Express slot covers. So this meant that we could get our PC case for $12.70, which is a killer deal, especially since this case retails for, I believe, $50. And this here leads us to our final part, the graphics card. And as you can tell, we don't have much money left to buy this graphics card. So, what did we get? Now, this was a very, very tricky deal. I was looking for an old, cheaper graphics card that could maybe run like Fortnite at low 30 FPS. Maybe looking for a GTX 560 or a 650 or something like that. And then out of the blue, someone, right? They had an RX 550 2GB, and they were like, I have no idea if it works, I'm just selling it, I want a quick dollar. And I bought it off them for $5, an Asus RX 550. And that has got to be the deal to end all deals. That graphics card will be perfect for this PC. And not only this, but when I go to sell this PC afterwards, it's going to increase the value of it so much.
Hello, I like money.
Now all I've got to do is actually hope that it works. So I don't know what else to say. Alrighty, ladies and germs, we actually have our full PC for $50 done right here. As you can see, it's not the best looking thing, but I mean the point is we got it done. That's what matters. Now, I actually have a monitor right here next to me that we're going to plug into this PC with all of our beautiful high quality, very high quality parts. I'm gonna plug them in, see if it posts, and have our fingers crossed during it. Alrighty people, this is take one of well no, this is just take one. And while yes, I did write take one very small, it's because we prepare for the worst, but we hope for the best. So let's try and turn this thing on, okay?
Bomb has been planted.
3, 2, 1. Oh, that was anticlimactic. Take numero 2. Oh, wait, ooh. Fans are spinning. I'm just saying, like, okay, well, it turns on, but it doesn't post, so. Alrighty, people, take three. Take 4. Take 5, whatever, it's written on the paper, let's just do it. It is now, a new day. As you can see, I've got my new clothes on, it's take 6, something. Alrighty, take 7. Take 7 in bold, because, 7's lucky. I don't know, let's just try it. Oh. Well, I'll tell you what, after this many attempts, you must be thinking, well, Charlie, aren't you losing your mind? But no! Here at the Chop61 channel, we don't lose our mind. We just, lose our time trying to work out with pieces of junk. Anyway, the point is, after this many tests, I figured out that our motherboard is the problem, not our graphics card. So, now it's time to do a bit of flipping and, that sort of thing to see if we can, figure something out. So, this is probably going to be like a 3-day skip, but watch me click it. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Ah, there we go. Now, we're here with all of our PC parts. It's like a long time later. But anyway, we've made a few changes so that we can still build this PC for $50. Now, as you might have realized in the last sort of video, I realized that the problem was the motherboard and it had a broken PCIe slot. Now, it was a micro ATX motherboard, and so there was nothing I could do to sort of put the graphics card in a different slot. It was sort of just broken. And the other problem is that the person I bought it from wouldn't refund me. So, we sold it for $10 online. Someone wanted to buy it. They didn't need a graphics card for their system. They were just doing like a web browser sort of system. And so we got $10 for that. Now, the thing is, no one, for some reason, wants to buy ATX AM3 motherboards. And so I managed to get this one. I bargained it down to $10. It's literally like the same as the last one, except on ATX form factor. So that's great. Now, the next problem is our case was micro ATX. So this motherboard isn't going to fit inside of it. So I actually just did a straight up trade on this one. I got this older Thermaltake case. It looks a bit dookie, but look, it came with 2 side panels. It's ATX. It's just a really basic case, but we're on a $50 budget, so it's going to be really basic. That's not really what matters right now. What matters right now is that we build this PC and that it finally works. So after a long time, let's build this thing. Now, as you guys can probably tell, this PC looks like complete dookie. Like, it looks quite terrible compared to last time. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that hopefully, fingers crossed, this will be the last time I have to boot it up here. And then we can run some games on it, and then this video can end. So let's plug this thing up, and let's test it for the last time. I hope you guys are ready for this. 3, 2, 1. Where's the power button? Oh. Spinning. Come on, please. Yes! Let's go! Oh, finally! Yes! So after, what, like 3 months of work, I can now finally say, let's benchmark this piece of crap.
So, about this whole giveaway thing that you see in the title. So, what's going to happen is, well, actually, let's give you a bit of a backstory. So, a long time back, I said that I'd be giving away this PC once we hit 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch hours. Now, while I was going to stick to that and everything, I realized that that PC is really outdated, it's really nothing amazing, and so I thought we might refresh the giveaway a bit. So all you have to do is subscribe to be entered, and once we hit 1,000 subs, the giveaway will happen. So it's not going to happen yet, but once we hit 1,000 subs, it will happen. So hit that subscribe button if you want to be entered. That's all you have to do. We'll be giving away a bunch of cool PC parts, all that sort of thing. There'll be a bunch of different things you can win, and so it'll just be a lot of fun. One other thing before we do finish, it'll only be the first 1,000 people who subscribe who will be allowed to enter the giveaway. If you decide to subscribe later and then we've already hit 1,000 subs, then you will not be entered. So make sure you subscribe right now. Alright, that's it. See ya.